Heads up, it's the Roll Jays podcast, the voice of the Creighton basketball fan. With your hosts, Jimmie Allen, Alex Drake, and Casey Matthews. Join the crew and meet CU players, coaches, and a whole lot more. Now, the Roll Jays podcast. Here's Jimmie Allen.
Welcome into the Roll Jays podcast, brought to you by Pixel Fire Marketing, Pyramid Contractors, and Pepper Jack's Grill. Jimmie Allen, Casey Matthews, Alex Drake with you here at halftime. The Jays up over the number one overall seed by 2 points. Creighton leads 37-35 and are hitting at a high clip from outside the arc. The Jays shooting 9 of 14 from three, hitting 64% of their three-point shots. Casey Matthews, Creighton struggling, however, to get things going early in the paint. They feel like they figured something out down the stretch here.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the three-point shooting is encouraging. 9 of 14 is a great number. You know, I mean, you'd like to say we'll get that again in the second half, but
right.
I don't think we can necessarily hang our hats on that. You know, for me, my real issue is the turnovers, but we can get into that. But so, I mean, so far, you have to be encouraged. The only thing I'll say is I don't feel like Auburn's playing very well. And so that worries me. But then again, you also want to give credit where it's due and the game plan that's in place. But I don't know. I mean, I'm happy, but I'm also not feeling super confident at this moment.
Yeah, sorry. I thought you were going to ask a question there, Jimmie. Yeah, no, Casey, I'm right there with you. Not to bring up bad memories, but it kind of feels like halftime in New York on last Saturday a little bit. And I think the thing that struck me and gave me that feeling specifically was we had talked about it a little bit during the game, during that first half in New York. Like, we were getting a lot of lucky bounces on loose balls that should have been turnovers. And, you know, we just had one right before the end of the half. Steven kind of loses it. Jackson picks it up, throws it to Steven. Steven throws it back to Jackson, and he hits a three, right? But, like, that's not a clean play, and that's not something that's going to happen over and over in the second half. And I'll tell you what worries me the most is it kind of seemed like a little bit there Auburn figured out a way to attack the big fella in pick-and-roll game by keeping the guy he's guarding in the paint and sealing him so he can't come help.
Well, I noticed that early on, and actually credit where it's due because I'm pretty quick to throw announcers under the bus, but I think Jim's done a phenomenal job tonight analyzing this game. But yeah, those seal-ins are an issue. You know what's evident to me is, you know, Jimmie, I texted the group before the game started that I had a feeling Jason would be guarding Broome. I missed Mac's interview because my fence blew down, so I'm trying to fix that. But I had a feeling this would happen. And the thing that's evident to me is that Auburn's seen this before. Yeah. And they were more than prepared for that initial adjustment. Now, there's been a few times where Kalk has been on Broome, and I thought he's held his own. But when he's not, and they're able to get whoever it is that Jason's guarding, most of the time it's been Broome because Broome can go off the dribble. That seal-in is a problem because it certainly takes away the shot blocking. The other side of it is the offensive rebounding. And, you know, and it puts us in a tough spot there. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what the adjustment is.
Auburn's got 13 second chance points in this first half. They've done a really good job of crashing the glass. And another stat that shows that those seals are working. We talked about the turnovers for Creighton. Right now, the number is 10 assists to 7 turnovers for the Jays. Just 5 assists to 2 turnovers for the Tigers. But that's because they're not playing in transition. They're going straight to those seals. They're not distributing the basketball because they don't feel like they have to, because they know that backside help is coming if the shot is missed, because Jason's going to have to defend the perimeter a little bit more than they want to. And I'm with you guys on the turnovers, Alex. I literally said the same thing to Joey Colbert about halftime against St. John's, just because the fact that you're shooting 64% from three, that number is going to balance out by the second half of this game. I mean, I'd love to say that I think that Creighton could hit 64% from three in the second half. Just statistics and prior knowledge in basketball tells us that's not the case. And Creighton struggled mightily to get into the paint. early in that first half. To me, the key is Fedor Zugic trying to get to the paint. I think he's been the difference maker from a pace perspective, and he seems to be the only guy off the dribble that can really penetrate the paint for the Jays early in this first half. Jemiah struggled with it. Stevens got 2 baskets in the paint, but a lot of those were just missed assignments by the Tigers too. So for me, and listen, Fedor's pointing at his ankle again going to the sideline, so we don't know how healthy he's going to be, but I think he's a major factor for what Creighton's going to have to do offensively to keep opening up those shooting lanes.
Yeah, I think Fedor's huge.
Switching. Go ahead, Alex.
Sorry. No, I think Fedor's huge. And I mean, it's something that we've talked about all season with him is he does a great job of getting 2 feet in the paint and not necessarily forcing a shot himself. He had a great dump down to Ryan. We just weren't able to convert. And Ross, I was listening to the radio broadcast. Ross hit it on the head. This feels like a game you might need him to play significant minutes in that second half.
Yeah, I mean, the turnover thing is interesting, though, because a lot of these turnovers are unforced.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are
Jemiah just threw one out of bounds to nobody.
Absolutely. Stevens had the one they tried to get to Fred, which, at this point, the next loss is his last. So I'm not trying to nitpick on him because, listen, I love him. He's been so good for us. But even if that pass gets completed to Fred, what does Fred do with it?
There's 2 guys.
100%. Yeah. It's just a high risk, low reward pass. He's had 2 where we had the one where he got fouled on when the guy laid on top of him, but that could have been a turnover. He had one where he dribbled off his leg. It's just, I don't like what I'm seeing there at all. And part of me wonders if the pressure, it's like almost like phantom pressure, Yeah. And so rather than, because I don't feel like they're being really aggressive trying to make steals. It's just, I wonder if they're just in our head more than they need to be. But I certainly think in this game, if we're going to find a way to pull it out, you're going to have to get some scoring in the post and allow the game to sort of come to Kalkbrenner, because I do think he's got to have a presence down low for us to be able to get something together, be able to score consistently. I think that's going to be a key.
And just for Fred specifically, I know you're talking about the whole team case, but specifically the phantom pressure for Fred King, Ryan Kalkbrenner's sitting with 2 fouls right now in the first half. That doesn't happen very often. And obviously, when you're talking about a guy that's a candidate for player of the year in the country, and Janai Broom kind of putting the pressure on Kalkbrenner, Fred knows he's got to be able to kind of handle his own. And he's come up short here in the few minutes that he played in this first half. That's something to keep an eye on in the second half, though. This is the Roll Jays podcast brought to you by Pixel Fire Marketing, Pyramid Contractors, and Pepper Jack's Grill. We're going to take a quick break here, come back and give you our keys to the second half, and hopefully what's going to lead the Jays to a Sweet 16 appearance here on the Roll Jays podcast.
Are you dreaming of your business dominating local Google searches, drawing in customers effortlessly? Look no further. I'm Courtney, the Google gal from Pixel Fire Marketing. Need assistance with your Google business profile? From verification to getting more reviews, fixing maps to tackling annoying Google calls? I've got you covered. Your profile sets you apart and ensures you're the top choice for local customers. Visit fixmygbp.com for our $297 special offer. Visit fixmygbp.com for more details.
When you shop local, you help strengthen our community. So if you need roof repair, gutters, siding, even windows, call local Pyramid Contractors. They're the #1 roofer in Omaha for more than a dozen years. Let Pyramid Contractors come and give you a free estimate. Give them a call at 402-502-9300. That's 402-502-9300. Or visit them online at PyramidRoof.com. Never settle for less.
This is why you need to try Pepper Jack's Grill, the best Philly cheesesteak in America. At Pepper Jack's Grill, we craft your Philly just the way you like it. Fresh ingredients, sizzling on the grill, and endless customization options. Not just Phillies, we've got rice bowls, burritos, nachos, and even vegetarian choices. And don't forget those crispy fries with our famous spicy ranch. With 10 great locations in Omaha, there's a delicious meal waiting for everyone in the family. Pepper Jack's Grill, your Philly, your way.
Welcome back to the Roll Jays podcast brought to you by Pyramid Contractors, Pixel Fire Marketing, and Pepper Jack's Grill. Creighton currently leading the #1 ranked Auburn Tigers 37-35 at halftime. Casey Matthews, what do they have to do to lead the Auburn Tigers at the end of this game?
Yeah, this one's easy for me. One, you cannot continue to give them second chances to score. You got to limit them to one shot. And then on the other end, you have to get a shot. You cannot have 7 turnovers in the second half and expect to win this game. So I think it's the game plan isn't that hard. Now, can you execute it? We'll see.
Yeah, I'm going to echo those without going into detail on those. But on the added to that, I always think when you're playing against good shot blocking teams, when you attack the rim, you can't do the double clutches. There's a couple of times where we attacked the rim, double clutched. Jemiah got one batted back out to half court. Jemiah can get above people. Like you just got to go up strong. Double clutch and doesn't work against shot blockers as much as people like to think it does. So attack the rim ferociously and do the rest of the game plan. The keys are simple and they're always going to be the same moving forward. Rebound, protect the ball, finish at the rim, make shots.
You guys basically stole the two that I was going to hone in on. So I'm going to go a little bit of a different direction, maybe surprise you guys a little bit. Key to the second half for me is Jackson McAndrew. How many times have we seen him have, not maybe him, but him and a few other guys have big first halves and completely be non-factors in the second half? Jackson's 4 of 5 from 3 in the first half. He has 4 of Creighton's 9 made 3-point shots in the first half. He leads the Jays in scoring with 12. He's also got 3 key rebounds and a massive block. I think he's a really key piece. His length, his shooting ability, it feels like they don't have a match for him on Auburn's side. Obviously, you're expecting a lot out of a freshman in this situation, but I think he's going to be a key component for what Creighton needs to do in the second half to win this basketball game.
I agree with you, and I'm going to give you a bonus one, guys, just since it's the tournament. We have to set better screens.
Good call.
And,
yes.
And I meant to say this earlier, but our screening action has not been effective, and a lot of it's because we're not being physical on the screens. And with a team like Auburn, you just can't do that. You have to set physical screens. And if we can do that, we might be able to get something going through. We might be able to get some of those rolls. But, it's easier said than done.
Backing up on that too, Casey, specifically in the ball screen, you have to wait for Ryan to set it too. I've seen Jemiah take off dribbling before he's set. And you're putting him at risk for an offensive foul, but you're also not letting him set the screen. You got to wait for it.
Absolutely.
It's the Roll Jays podcast brought to you by Pixel Fire Marketing, Pyramid Contractors, and Pepper Jack's Grills. That's a lot of P's. Hope we were talking about a lot of W's on the other side of the game. We'll be on 1620 The Zone. Myself, Casey Matthews, and Alex Drake on 1620 The Zone for Blue Jay Overtime. Hopefully you can join us at 402-951-1620. We'd love to give you your thoughts and love to be talking about a trip to Atlanta after this evening. We'll see you after the game. Go Jays.